Well, hey, welcome back to part 3 of the Attraction Factor video series. This is a series in which we are considering 5 critical questions that clear the path to authentic intimacy. And so let's just jump into question number 3. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the major ways that we sabotage ourselves, sometimes without even knowing it. And so the question is this: have you recognized and released your relationship persona? Have you recognized and released your relationship persona? Let me give you a quick little study in psychology. Okay. All of us as little children have an innate desire to feel safe and to want to be loved and accepted, right? We want to be safe. We want to feel loved, especially from our primary caregivers, our parents, right? We want to feel safe in our home environment. We want to feel loved. Now, unfortunately, your parents, my parents, most parents are not completely enlightened beings. They are normal humans with their own baggage and their own issues from their own childhoods and the environments in which they grew up. And so very often, there are aspects of who we are as little children that our parents don't like. Parts of our personalities, the way we deal with our emotions. And we can grow up in environments where being our authentic selves might get us judged, rejected, perhaps punished, or maybe ignored or dismissed, or we're considered to be a pain in the ass, or somehow we get the message that one or both of our parents don't like certain aspects of us. Take, for instance, the classic male father who is really disconnected from his emotions and doesn't like a woman's emotions and can't handle them, and they annoy him. And so you're a little girl of 4 or 5 years old and you're an emotional creature and you want to be close to daddy. You want daddy's love. You want to feel safe. You want to feel wanted. You want to feel valued. But every time you show your emotions and your anger, your sadness, your fear, your dad either ignores you or tells you to go talk to your mother, or maybe even punishes you. What are you going to do as a little child who wants to be close to daddy? You're going to sort of cut off those parts or hide those parts of yourself that get you sort of in trouble. And you will become the little girl that you think he will like, that he will want to have around him. Do you follow me? So you will distance yourself. This all happened. You're so young, you don't remember this. Okay. This is a very human thing. It's a very unconscious thing, but as a little child, in a sense, you're brilliant. You want to secure love and safety for yourself. So you will hide the parts of yourself that seem to get you in trouble, and you will take on a persona that will get you love and safety. Now, you don't know you're doing this, but now you're 45 years old and you're doing it. You're still doing it. You still feel like this is the strategy to feel safe and get love in intimate settings. This is who I have to be, but you don't even know you're doing it. You actually think it's who you are. It's not who you are. It's a fear-driven persona that you adopted as a little kid to get by, which was wonderful. But now it's not necessary. But since you don't know that you've done this to yourself, you just think that this is who you are. But here's the thing: when you're loving and relating from a persona, it's not your authentic self. It's coming from fear. That will sabotage your love life because it's not who you are. It's a fear-driven thing. You're like, if I'm not this person, nobody will want me, or I won't feel safe, or I won't get attention or affection. You follow me? And because it's not your authentic self, it's going to lead to drama. It's going to lead to all kinds of disconnection and eventually breakups. Now, I know this from personal experience because I grew up wanting to be close to my mom and my dad too. But these issues of relationship personas very often have a lot to do with your opposite sex parent. Okay. Now, what little boy doesn't want to be close to his mother? Well, without spending too much time on this, I recognize as a little boy that if I made my life be about pleasing mommy, then I got some attention and affection. But if I sort of did my own thing and had my own wants and my own concerns and my own priorities, if I was just kind of being authentically me, I felt distance from my mother. I felt disconnection. I felt a kind of an unconscious kind of anger, like I was being a bad boy. But when I made my life be about taking care of hers and fulfilling her agenda, if mama wasn't happy, nobody was happy in my household. When I did that, then I felt some attention and affection. So as 5, 6, 7-year-old boy, I just became what I call Roy the Rescuer, or good boy Roy. That I just learned, that's how you get attention and affection from women. Now I'm 45 years old and I'm still doing it. I'm afraid that if I don't make my life be about taking care of a woman, I will never get her attention and affection. So I became kind of a rescuer, right? Someone who felt like he had to devote his life to fulfilling a woman's agenda and just making her happy and doing everything she wanted and sort of forgetting about himself, and what you want doesn't matter. That's the dynamic that I thought I had to be. That's the person I thought I had to be to get the attention and affection of a beautiful woman. Follow me? Well, this not only led to drama, but it led me to attracting certain kinds of women. If I'm a rescuer, then I have to attract someone who needs rescuing, right? A woman who doesn't need rescuing, just would like a partner to share her life with. I never felt chemistry with that woman. I never felt wanted by that woman. The women who really responded to Roy the Rescuer were women who were damsels in distress, who were sort of overwhelmed with life, busy careers, making a lot of money, working tons of hours, but single mothers and managing their household. Well, see, I would rescue them. I would make my life be about taking care of theirs, and they loved me for it. But I was doing it from fear. Do you follow me? It wasn't my authentic self. I was afraid that if I didn't make my life be about just taking care of some damsel's life, that I would never get love and attention. So I don't want to spend too much time on my story. The issue is, what is your relationship persona? You've got one. You can't, I don't care how wonderful your parents were. You have come out of your childhood recognizing that if I'm more of this kind of little boy or little girl, I feel safer and more love than if I'm that kind, my authentic self. So you've got to ask yourself, can you recognize that pattern? And then how do you release it? Okay. Again, that's beyond the scope of these short little videos. That's what I do as a coach. I help my clients recognize how they might be loving from an inauthentic, fearful place, which leads to drama, and it leads you to attract what I call the relationship Groundhog Day syndrome. See, if I was Roy the Rescuer, I'd always attract another damsel in distress and have the same problems and pain and difficulties over and over and over again, like Groundhog Day. See, so this is a huge barrier as to how to attract a healthy, sustainable relationship. You've got to be healthy. You've got to recognize and then release your relationship persona. Do you know how to do that? And I can help you. if you need to, because I've been through it and I've done it with hundreds of my clients, and it revolutionizes your love life, because now you start coming from that healthier place, which means you start attracting healthier dynamics. Does that make sense? All right. So that's the third question. Next time I see you, it'll be the fourth question in the attraction factor video series. And I look forward to that then. Until then, bye-bye.